Welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name's AJ.
I'm Zeth.
And today we're going to be answering your questions that you guys sent Jared and the questions that Jared wants to ask us.
I'm nervous.
I did not study last night. All right, first question.
All right, first question is, how did you meet and what is the earliest memory of your friendship? Oh.
The earliest memory, you were...
Of me. This is the earliest memory of me? Okay, I'm nervous.
I want to say you just became a freshman. This is still like pretty early on. So I'm in 8th grade and I think we walked in because you were there and you're like, I'm not with you like in 678 anymore, and you threw a basketball at Eduardo and I. And like it hit, I think it hit me in the head. But I mean, we met here at the church.
That's the earliest memory of me?
I think so, yeah.
I can't
And also
think
the
of...
photo we took in the
on the
stage with your Apple Watch.
We'll put that in the video.
Photo here.
We'll send that to Jared. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, we met here. I don't remember what the earliest memory was though. I just remember like you and Eduardo were friends. Me and Eduardo were friends. So about a transitive property, we're friends.
Is that a science term?
It's math. It's close enough. All right, next question. What is something you love to do and why?
Why don't you start?
All right.
Yeah.
I love being here. I love working at the church, serving the Lord. So I feel like we get to do a lot of cool and fun things. So love being here. Love doing that, love serving the Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's the same for me. Especially like more on like the video side also of this. I love all of this. The more lights, the cooler it looks. But yeah, no, I love working here. It's the best job I can ask for. And God has provided in so many ways that I didn't think were possible, so.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer.
What was your favorite show from your childhood? Johnny Test.
Wow. That's a good one. I feel like there were a lot.
Were you allowed to watch TV?
Wow. Yeah, Fairly Odd Parents. What else was there? There was,
Dude, SpongeBob?
SpongeBob?
SpongeBob.
I don't know, there's so many. I don't know if I can pick a favorite.
You have to pick a favorite. What was your favorite like cartoon TV show?
I'll just say Danny Phantom.
Dude, yeah.
I went to Nick Hotel, is that what it's called? It's not that anymore. In
Nick
Florida.
Hotel.
They were like, what theme room do you want? And I got to pick, so I got to...
Danny Phantom! Danny Phantom!
Yeah, I just picked Danny Phantom, so that was cool.
Cool.
All right.
How did you get into working ministry? Working in ministry.
There you go.
I started serving in 6th grade. I was super excited to start serving because I knew like once you became in middle school, I don't know if it's the same rule that still applies, but once you became in middle school, you were able to start serving in like toddlers, nursery, or preschool. So I started serving in toddlers, did that for a long time, and then started doing toddlers and preschool at the same time. And then at the time, the coordinator of the now 123 room was like, you need to pick a room. I don't want you to get burnt out. So I left both of those rooms and went to the 123 room. Did that for all, like, I think 8th grade and all of high school. I was the MC, so all the kids knew who I was. And then did mentorship in middle school for a couple, maybe like a year or two. Did the internship after I graduated high school for students. And then halfway through that internship, they were like, we're gonna move you to production. You've been putting in more interest in production. So I got moved to production. That's when Jared became my boss. I was terrified of him because the first time I met him, he yelled at me for taking his drill. I was probably like 15 when this happened. Did the internship finished, and then there was like a 1.5 year gap, and then I got hired on as staff as the content producer. And then about a little over a year after being staff, got offered full-time as the production and creative media assistant. And now we're here. Full testimony.
I also started in 6th grade. Middle school, started serving in preschool, I think is what it was. Becky Green, is either Becky was Family Life, like over all of it, or Amy. But I just remember I served in tech, subtle foreshadowing. Ran Pro Presenter in the soundboard, and then started getting into music, started playing on stage at 678 and HSM. And that whole time I was kind of like, man, how do I get more involved? How do I do more? How do I do more things? And I would see the interns, I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. So I did the internship, did that for a year, and right at the end of it, like a week before it ended, they were like, hey, we have a job. We have a job opportunity. And it was either that or when I got offered full-time, but they were like, you can pray about it, let us know. And I was like, I've prayed about it, like, we're good. Like, put me down, I'm in.
Come pencil me in.
And and then that's when I moved from music, kind of production, all over to production, when I had Jared is my boss. And I also remember the first time I kind of had an interaction with Jared was when I was Zach's intern, and Jared just walked by the office and was like, hey, you wanna go grab lunch today? And I was like deathly scared. And
Everyone's scared of Jared when they first meet him, but once you get to know him, he's the best guy ever.
He's gonna cut that. He doesn't want people to know that.
I know.
But I just remember I already had lunch plans, so I was like, no, I can't today. And Jared was like, okay. And he just walked away, and I was like, all right. And then, 6 months later, Jared's my boss, and we're having Chipotle as like an orientation in 4-5.
Dang, you got lunch for your orientation when you first met
We
him?
don't gotta talk about it.
We sat on the couches by the north bathrooms and was like, so I'm Jared. And I was like, hi Jared, I'm AJ.
Yeah, he got Dave and I Chipotle.
Jared.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. Did that, then once I graduated, got offered full-time, and then, so I went for production tech part-time, production lead full-time. Just recently, we had Saturday services, so I'm the Saturday Goodyear campus producer, but I also still do all the other production lead stuff, so just another leadership opportunity, cool thing that I just stepped into a few months ago, but yeah. What's something people might not realize goes on behind the scenes?
We're secretly replacing an SDI cable that broke on one of the cameras.
Yeah, that's a good one. You may think of something when you were saying that, all the transitions and stuff. Like if you ever see us, any of the production people wearing those drive-through headsets, someone told that to me once, someone who was a volunteer.
I feel like I'm back at In-N-Out.
They told me that. They were like, yeah, are you working at a drive-through? And I was like, oh okay.
Did you want pictures on that?
Yeah, but it's funny because on those headsets, we're talking to everyone, stage manager, people at front of house, when to go, when to get past our side stage or make sure the band is side stage, all those kinds of things. Because there's been times where someone doesn't come out when they need to, or I'm on the headset, where's this person? And they're like, I don't know. And they're supposed to be on stage. So that's one side of it. And the other side of it is just AJ and I having a conversation over the wireless comms with other people on there.
Yep.
And people are like, you guys sound like brothers. Just talking about
Sometimes if you're in Buckeye, or if you're just not there, or you were there and you don't have your headset on anymore, and I'll talk to Anna. Anna will think that I'm you.
Really? I've never heard this.
It's happened a couple times. I'm like, hey Anna, everything going okay?
Yeah, Zeth.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, no, this is AJ. It's okay.
Yeah.
Next question.
All right.
Are you guys brothers? No, we are not. No, we are not.
We're really good at this.
I am Italian. He's Filipino.
I'm Filipino.
Filipino.
Okay. Half white,
That's how they say it.
half Filipino. And he's got a Famiglia tattoo on his arm.
Legally.
All right. If you could spec out your ideal camera rig setup, what would you choose, accessories and all?
FX6.
Wow, no hesitation.
Zero hesitation.
FX6, Blazar, and Nisi lenses, matte box with mist filters on it, and also the ND filters for it. Wait, no, there's built-in on the FX6. a rail system so I can attach like wireless follow focus, a bigger monitor because the FX6 monitor is like the size of an iPod Nano. It's so small. I don't know if an iPod Nano is that. Which one am I thinking of? The white square one that's got the little dial. You know what I'm talking
I know
about?
what you're talking about.
That iPod. What else? An easy rig, so I can easily hold it. Time code.
The DD time code, same
Yeah.
boxes. That'd be cool.
Maybe a tally light, so it could also be one of our wireless cameras for Sunday services. I mean, the tally light's not gonna make it work for Sunday services. We've got to do a couple other things to make it work. Yeah, I think that's it.
I'm gonna have the craziest answer right now. The FX3 that I built, like, that's ideal. Like FX6 is cool to have the variable ND and all that stuff, but I'm like, oh, it's here. This is perfect. I got to build our second rig, and it's just, I love it. The Rigid Pro Cineback, the XLR handle for audio, a big monitor, 24-70, got that different focal length if I need zoom or if I need wide.
All lenses
You know?
zoom.
All lenses, not all lenses zoom.
Not all of them, but
Nope.
I think
The ones you
people
said
would
don't
look
zoom.
I think
Yeah.
people would look at this and be like, yeah,
But this is ideal. It's all black. It's clean. It's light. If I want to take the FX3 off and use it for something else, I could. I feel like an FX6 is just like it's the size of this and then a lens. So
yeah. I think FX3s, if you build them correctly, if you build them correctly, they're a great like run and gun shoot camera. But like for like more like you have like storytelling, talking heads, maybe videos for like Christmas or Easter. Anything cinematic, I would use the FX6. Cinematic.
We want to talk about that. All right.
what's the craziest thing you had to fix during service? I have so many of these. Do you have any? Did you help me with any of those? You let me know. A few Christmases ago, our mix rack talks to the soundboard. The mix rack's the brain.
What I thought you were gonna say.
Soundboard is the controller. But there's a cable that goes between the two, and the way that our speakers got their audio at the time was from the soundboard. So if the soundboard goes down, speakers go out. And we had some cutting in and out at rehearsals. You know, we didn't really know what it was. One service, we started like our main opening video, band is playing, and the audio just cuts out. I'm at front of house, so I sprint to the mix rack because I'm like, I'm sure I know what this is. And I get to the mix rack, and the little Ethernet cable that goes from our mix rack to front of house was like flashing red on the mix rack. And I was like,
Flashing red is not a good thing.
not a good thing.
Not a good thing.
Orange, however, is good. Red, no. So I wiggled it, it was red, and then it shut off, so I unplugged it. Like, I can't find our ends, our Ethernet ends. Zach, like, finds them, he throws them to me. It's like, it felt like it was in slow motion. Like, I caught him, yeah. Put the end on, and at the time, we didn't have the same tools we had now, so it was like hit or miss if these ends worked. The first end didn't work, so I cut it. And then second end works, but at this point, pastors come out, like, the room is packed. They're just talking to people, the lights come up, the band's on stage. We're kind of just waiting for me to fix this so that we can start service.
I remember we were like fully prepared to like just continue the
Yeah.
whole service as like an acoustic set, like
With the
cajon,
mobile sound
acoustic
system.
guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
was
crazy
just-
Christmas.
And I was just right there on the floor, just like shaking, sweating, trying to get this cable fixed, because if this cable didn't get fixed, like we weren't gonna have, you know, the full sound system for service. So it worked out. We restarted everything after that cable was fixed, and then service continued.
I thought you were gonna say when
The light.
the chroma key,
Yeah.
when it just started flickering like crazy during services,
That in this video.
and you, what did you do? You grabbed the giant ladder, you brought it out and unplugged it, and that was that. And somehow you managed to make a YouTube video while doing it, which I still don't understand how you did that.
Yeah. It's on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like a recap because I was trying to like crawl up on the top area to try to unplug it. Then
Yeah.
I pulled out a ladder during Ryan's prayer. And the best part about it is that you were sitting in service and you had no idea that I was on stage until after the prayer.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I know anyone has seen it, but
Yeah, I don't know what's the craziest thing I've had to fix during service because I'm more of running around with the camera during services. And if I'm not, I'm sitting in service. And I think you experience more stuff that you have to fix. So I don't really have an answer for that.
yeah,
Sorry.
that's all right.
What element of the periodic table do you associate with most? Did you ever have to like remember this whole thing in school?
Probably.
Like recite the whole thing?
Can I remember it now? Absolutely not.
I mean, at some point I had to. Which one do I associate with the most? Let's see. Which one should I pick? Why is like the toughest question?
Oxygen.
That's a good one.
Needed to breathe.
You need to breathe. But why do you associate with that one?
Because I breathe a lot. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna go number 14, silicon. The Apple silicon chips
Dude, tell me, I was gonna say that one.
Are the best. Do I know
About
if
chlorine
they
for
actually-
21 Pilots.
I was thinking of that one too.
Yeah, the M chips from Apple are a game changer.
Yep.
That Intel computer we have. Anyways. What is one embarrassing thing that has happened to you? Oh, I have a good one. When I was an intern, I came into the office. It was some holiday or something, but I didn't know if it was a holiday. It didn't really like say it for the church. And no one told me not to come in. Like no one said it was a day off. So I came in, I'm in the office, and like no one's around. And I'm kind of like, this is weird. So I'm just
were an
sitting.
intern?
I was an intern. I was just sitting, I was just working, doing my thing. It was a Monday. I get halfway through the day, and I think I texted Zach about something. And I was like, yo, did we like have the day off or something? I don't remember the exact text, but he was like, oh yeah, like we do. And I'm at the church working by myself. And I get halfway through the day and no one told me that we had the day off.
That's funny.
So I don't know who I texted. I think it was Zach. Who's someone you look up to and why?
George Washington. What? I'm just kidding. It's a great question.
I think we're gonna have the same answer.
Say it on 3.
1, 2, 3.
Jared.
Wow.
Next question.
It says why?
Oh.
Because he's great. He's amazing.
He is great. He's a great mentor.
Taught us
He's a
everything we
great
know.
boss. He's a
Yeah.
great friend. We can call him at 2 in the morning if we're struggling with something.
Yep.
He'll answer.
We're bypassing his do not disturb. Maybe we're not. But sometimes I text
Are
Jared.
we in emergency
I don't think
contact?
we are. But I text Jared sometimes and I see like Jared notifications are silenced. Do you want to notify anyways?
Yes.
And I will slam that button.
Yes.
No matter
absolutely.
what.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's been times where I haven't, but there's other times where I'm like, you're getting notified.
Yeah.
For sure. What would you say to someone thinking about joining the production team?
Do it.
Yeah, I don't
I mean, I think when we both first started, we didn't know a lot of stuff, but we had like somewhat of an idea like, okay, like this is how you use a camera. I know how to kind of edit. I know, if you know like very little, that's fine. Like you're gonna be under Jared and all three of us are gonna be there to help you succeed. I remember when I first started, like I thought I was really good at video editing and really good with cameras, but like seeing the other people that were working here at the time and like what they could do, I'm like, man, that's where I want to be and be really good with that. So if you know how to use a camera and know very little about editing, come join the production team. I mean, we all start somewhere.
Yeah.
Start at the bottom of the food chain and work your way up.
Even if you know absolutely nothing
This is true.
and you're like, this stuff is cool. That soundboard thing is cool. Like I have a drive to learn.
These lights, cool.
And you want to like just learn. Like if you have that drive, like all of this stuff can be taught. It can be learned.
Production is super easy to learn, and then once like technical stuff starts coming in, that's when it gets fun. I feel like, because then you're more like hands-on with like building a camera rig, setting up lights, or if like we get a new soundboard, like how do we patch everything so it can speak to the mix rack, to the stage, and it's a lot of fun.
I won't even get into Dante right now.
No, don't get into Dante. Dante, I'm not even.
And if you guys just want to come hang out with 3 of us, like, that's also a good reason to join the production team.
Yeah.
We're cool. What has been the most rewarding part of serving on the production team?
I think just the growth and that's actually gotta think something else. Just the growth from where I started and working with the people around me, pushing me to my limits, being able to succeed and do it all for the glory of God is really fun and really cool. So I think just being on staff and doing what I'm doing is super rewarding in my eyes.
Yeah, the people, definitely a part of it. Like, it's not all the time where I get to work with people who are like also my friends. So that's a really good part of it, really rewarding part. And I think the other part is just like you said, the growth. Like, I feel like I'm learning new things almost every single day, or I'm looking for new things to learn, like new things with ProPresenter, or like just the other day I ran on Saturday night lights with ProPresenter was sending MIDI over the Wi-Fi to our lights computer to run lights. So it was like, that was just a cool thing. So, and you know, the most important part, like just serving the Lord and remembering that what we do is, you know, bringing people closer to God. Like, that's why we do what we do.
Yep.
So I'm sure we don't get to, you know, I'm not sure people who are accepting God are like, God, I want to have a relationship because those lights look really cool. It was just like, we're trying to create this environment that allow people to feel comfortable and feel like they can connect with the Lord so that there's no distractions. So we just get to have that support role, that behind the scenes role, but we also have a big part of it.
Yeah, I think like with that of like, when it comes to like video editing for me, I've changed my perspective of how I look at it as a video editor to how do people who don't follow Christ look at this video? How can this video talk to them and potentially lead them to Christ? So I think that's also a cool, rewarding part of it, of just knowing that whatever video I'm making could potentially lead someone to Christ and start coming here more often. Well, thanks for watching.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys liked us like to hear us answering your questions, words. There's no teleprompter, guys.
There is not.
We had no plan for this.
Is right next
I
to the
drove
board that I have
straight.
set up.
I rode my board right over here, not knowing what we were gonna do. This is all a surprise.
Yeah.